Hey there and welcome back. Thanks for watching. Today I'm going to be making a card and I've already gone ahead and kind of gathered some supplies and embellishments. So I have a little piece of white cardstock here and it's cut to I believe it's 4 inches by 5 1/4. So it's slightly smaller than my card base. So I can build on top of this and then when I'm done I can just adhere it to my card base. So I have some pattern paper, and this is from Seven Gypsies Harmony paper pack, and I just cut this little piece off, slightly smaller than this cardstock piece, and I'm just going to adhere it down. I'm going to do that using my Tombow Stamp Runner adhesive. Oops, I guess it's all run out. I need a refill. Okay, well, I'm going to switch over to my Scotch ATG then. So I'm going to adhere this down. And I'm not too worried about this little thing here. It says Mr. and Mrs., which is really cute if you're using it for like a wedding card or a wedding scrapbook, but I'm not using it for that purpose. So I'm going to adhere it so it's up here in the corner, but I'm not worried about it being sort of like weird up there because I'm going to cover it with some embellishments. Now I have a piece of a paper doily and I'm just going to go ahead and adhere this on the top. I really like paper doilies. I think they just add some texture and a really interesting dimension to your cards. And then I have some of this white twine, or I don't know, it's just like some thread I picked up at a thrift store somewhere. And then I already went ahead and measured it out because I just wanted to know what it would look like. So I have this piece here and I'm just going to put it up at the top, wrap it around if I can. Oops. And usually I leave the tie in the front and tie it in a bow or a knot. But I'm going to be adding a tag and I'm going to put a bow on the tag too. So I didn't know if that would look weird if I had like a bow here and a bow on the tag. So I'm leaving the little tie in the back and I'll just adhere it down so you won't even see it on the card front when it's done. Just kind of spacing out these strings here and getting them to look the way I want them. Okay, and then I have some of these white flowers, and these are from Petaloo, and these are actually their part of their DIY paintables set. So they are designed to be misted on and painted on. I'm not going to change the color. I really want to stay with the whites, but I am going to take some of my, if I can find it here, I'm going to take some of my Dazzling Diamonds Glimmer Mist and just give them a spray. And that'll just add some shimmer and shine and not really any color. And then I'm just going to dry them quick with my heat tool. They're not totally dry, but they're dry enough. And I know it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but I did take some of my Crystal DIY and Decor paint and painted the middles of these flowers because they were green, but I just want to keep a really clean white on my card. So I'm going to set those aside for just a second and just wipe off my area. So now I'm bringing my card base back in. And I have this tag from my stash. I don't really know where I got it. I just have a bunch of these. They're like little punch out things. I liked the gray and I took a little bit of my Distress ink, and this color is the Hickory Smoke. It's the newer gray, and I just kind of aged the edges. So I'm thinking I'm going to put this here somewhere on my card, but I do want to go ahead and put a bow on the top of this. I'm thinking I will wrap this around several times. It's probably good enough. So I'm going to go ahead and tie this. Just finish that off. I'll tie it into a bow for now. Kind of debating if I want it to be a bow or just leave the threads hanging. Maybe I'll do a bow. Kind of play with it a little bit to get that bow to set right. Kind of like that. I might even leave that long on the side there. And then I was thinking I would just kind of add in my flowers here and there. And then I have, well, I have the Simon Says Stamps Prayers stamp set and the coordinating die that goes with it. And if you haven't seen my videos before on how I store my dies, this is just a really thin sheet of magnet, yeah, a magnet sheet. And so I cut it and slipped it in the back of these pockets, so I have the die right along with my stamp set if it has a coordinating stamp set. If I have dies that don't coordinate with a stamp set, I just give them their own pocket. But I really love these really thin magnet sheets because it just makes it possible to put it right in with your stamp sets. So that's kind of how I organized my stamps and my dies. But anyway, so I used the die and I went ahead and I cut the word prayers. And I cut it 3 times because I want to stack it on top of each other and make them thicker. So, and then I was thinking I would kind of just put it down here somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of glue these together. And I was going to use my stamp runner adhesive, but as you saw at the beginning of the video, that ran out. But I'm going to use my Tombow multi-liquid glue for this now. I'm just going to put some tiny dots here and there. And I really like this glue because you can really, it's got this small nozzle, or whatever you call it, tip. So you can put little bits here and there as you need to. It doesn't make quite as big of a mess. Okay, so now I just want to line these up. Hopefully I don't squish out too much of the glue. That looks pretty good. And then I just want to do this one as well. Trying to put a little amount of the glue on because I really don't want it to squish out and make a mess. Okay. So anyway, if I was using my stamp runner adhesive, it'd make this really easy because with the stamp runner adhesive, since it's a dot runner, that means it's got little little dots of adhesive on there. So you could, you know, stamp it, it would leave a square of dots. But when you run it on something like this, like a really small, intricate die cut, the dots will only stick to your paper. It's not like one continuous strand of glue like that, if you can see. So yeah, the dots will only stick to your paper. You won't get that weird filmy glue in between the letters. So it makes it really quick and easy. So that's why I was gonna go ahead and use this, but as you can see I ran out. But this liquid glue works well as well too. So just make sure all of my letters are lined up here. Okay. Really liking how this is looking. Part of me debates putting it up on foam adhesive yet, but I kind of think that would be very tedious to cut all those little tiny foam squares to put behind there. So I might just leave it, go ahead and leave it like this, and go ahead and glue some of this stuff down. So I think I'll go ahead with that. So I'm going to put this tag down first. Actually, you know what might work? Now that I think about it. No. I was thinking if I put a piece of foam adhesive here and kind of popped the bottom up. I don't know. Oh, great. Well, never mind. I guess we won't do that. Okay. So anyway, I was thinking if I popped the bottom up and I put this on the tag, then I would only have to cut little foam adhesives on the sides, but we'll just go ahead and leave it. I'm going to go ahead and glue this string down in a few spots just to hold its shape. And once I get the embellishments on top, you're probably not going to see it all that much, but I just really like the shape of this long piece of string here, so I'm just going to glue that down. Okay, now I think I want to put my prayers on next, and that way I can put the flowers on after it and then have the flowers where I want them. So I'm going to go ahead and use my glue again and just put some little dots on the back. And I'm not worried about this little piece hanging off here because I am putting it on a bigger card base, so it's not really going to be hanging off. I don't really have anyone in mind to send this card to. I'm just kind of creating it, but it's always nice to have some cards in your stash just in case you need them. I'm kind of fluffing up my flower here. It's still a little bit damp, so that makes it really easy to kind of fluff up them petals. I'm going to snip the back of these flowers a little bit, just so they lay a little bit, little bit flatter. And actually, instead of this glue for the flowers, because I would have to put a kind of a puddle of glue there, and that would take a while to dry. I'm going to use some of my glue dots, and I've had these for a while, and I've just never used them. But I found that they're really sticky. I found it works great if you kind of cut them. And then I use the little pieces behind my flowers. And I found that works pretty good. So I'm going to put that one there. This flower is still kind of wet, so it's not wanting to stick. There we go. So far, so good. I'm going to put my glue dots away. And so I have my card base, and it's already cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is an A2 standard size card. And I'm going to adhere this on the top. Now I'm trying to decide if I want to adhere it flat or if I want to pop it up with a little bit of craft foam. I know there's already some dimension with the flowers, but I really like the look of it kind of popping off. So I'm going to grab some craft foam. Any white, but I have this really light pink, so hopefully that won't be too offensive if you look at it from the side. But just kind of eyeballing it. There we go. I'm going to add some adhesive to my foam. And then I do want to make sure I get these strings down. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and put a piece of adhesive right there and make sure they stay down. And then I do want to make sure my strings are in the right place when I adhere it down, because then that's where they're going to stay. So I want to make sure they look good. And then go ahead and just stick my foam on top. And now I can add my adhesive to the side of the foam as well. Make sure I get a lot on there because I want it to stick. I'm just going to, well, make sure my card is the right side up, because I have done that before where I put it on upside down. So it's the right way, and I'm just going to go ahead and adhere it on. So you can see that craft foam gives it a little bit of dimension, but it's really sturdy. It's not going to like sag in places because you have gaps in between the foam adhesive. So that's pretty much the card. I think I am going to go ahead and take some stickles and put it over my little die cut area here, just to give it some shine, some sparkle, and really help it stand out. But anyway, I will be posting more pictures of my card on my blog. So if you want to head over there and check it out, that would be great. I'll also try to include links to most, if not all, the products I use. Sometimes it's kind of hard for me to find product links to some of these things because like this tag is really old. I don't know where it's from, so I probably won't get a product link to that. But for most of the products that I can find, I will put links to them at my blog. So go on over there, check it out, but leave a comment, like, or subscribe, or share. I always appreciate hearing from whoever's out there watching, so thank you so much. And I'm going to let this dry, and then I'll go take some pictures of it. So thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you back here next time. Bye.